If hip hop is a sport, then Drake and Kendrick cannot compete because they have different audiences. Drake is more competing with Tyler Swift. We need a verse for the Swifties. And Kendrick is like the king of the gatekeepers.
I'm what the culture feeling.
If it's a sport,
That fuck 'em up.
then if it's an art,
Fucking quintuple entendre on that shit.
then how much creativity is there? Let me explain what I mean by being serious and comfortable is the same thing.
From previous video.
So, when people get famous, like most of them,
Yeah.
they start playing to people's expectations.
Yeah.
You know, they become serious.
Dead serious.
They want to make songs which will be successful.
Right?
The reputation or whatever is there,
Yeah.
especially in hip hop.
For real.
Then they become, you know, formulaic. Like they have a formula, they perfect it. And when you have perfection, it's like there's no more possibility,
No more.
you know. So there's no room for creation.
Nope.
There's no room for growth,
None.
you know. So when people have a name, most people, when they have a name,
Yeah.
and it's become about names. Like nowadays, TikTokers, YouTubers, whatever, Instagram models, they all have names.
Right.
So being a rapper is not such a big name nowadays. And we have to look at how it came to this. Like I talked about it just before, where people are just going by their name. Like Drake is selling because he's Drake. Beyonce is selling because she's Beyonce.
Yeah.
And you have Nas, or you have whoever. Mostly they're entertaining. They have access to people, but they have perfected it.
Ooh.
And the audience has also been perfected. The gatekeepers I'm talking about. Even Drake's audience to a degree. They know what to expect. And this is the only thing you can give them. So we look at what hip hop was. It became mostly about lyricism. Now, lyrics stopped becoming so important when we have watched so many movies, we have read so many opinions, we've watched so many hot takes everywhere, where it feels like we know everything. Then you have to say something really crazy like triple, quadruple entendres for us to feel like it's lyrical.
Jeez.
Back in the day, being lyrical was pretty easy. But now, to be really creative, you have to come up with some crazy things,
Crazy.
which comes more like when you have experience,
Yeah.
like as a rapper. If you have grown, like somebody like Kendrick can do that, people like Lupe, people like J. Cole and that, like they can do some, you know, things with like complex whatever associations, things like that. But it's just become a gimmick. Hip hop has been dead. It's been a carcass. We're just carrying it around and displaying it. If you look at it, like, let's look at who's the creative rappers out there.
Yeah.
You know, most people when they come out, they're creative. Like Future was creative,
Yeah.
and he got comfortable. Travis Scott is creative, but he got comfortable. But the thing is, we defined hip hop to such a level that for somebody to fit into a definition, they had to be very serious.
Dead serious.
So the expectations were like that. We became close-minded because the more you define something, the more close-minded you become.
Dead serious.
And when you have only expect this much, then whoever fits into that can be comfortable. Because anything they bring, like, they have defined you in a way. Like our age of hip hop, the people we grew up on, the rappers we grew up on, they defined us. by the things they talked about, how they talked about it. That became our expectation, you know. So now, if anybody comes, we're quick to dismiss them. So hip hop is split between the gatekeepers, you know, and the mumble rappers, and then there is the whatever backpack, whatever stuff is there, you know, gimmicky rap, but it's all a gimmick. If you look at it, hip hop has become a gimmick. Most people in the space, YouTube and everywhere, in the content creation space, use it as a gimmick. Even battle rap has become a gimmick, you know. So when you're playful, like if we are honest, if between you and me, we are most creative when you're in the shower,
Yeah.
because that's when you're the most playful, when you're the most relaxed.
Right.
Then creativity comes out. But when you are trying to be creative, like that's what I mean. Like, does Travis Scott really care about the rodeo anymore? Is it really that passionate about it anymore? See, somebody like Tyler, the creator, like I enjoy him because he's always finding new things, or like growing, like being open to different things. He will do this, next time he will do something completely different. Just however he is, he's never taking himself serious in the expression. He's just playing. It's a entertainment, you know, whatever. It's creativity. It's just you want to create something
Yeah.
fun,
Oh.
so you also have fun. You know, if you enjoy it, people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
But as soon as people get famous, many people forget this. So this is what I mean. You perfect it. You perfected your audience. Then there is no more room for growth. It's just like that. Because your audience will only want this from you. Somebody like Kanye West, he has been creative at some points. Like Yeezus was creative as hell, you know? Then he came, 808s was very creative also. Then after that, it just became more about, I'm so good, you know? I'm so good at this. That's what rap has become. I'm so good at this. You know, it's just, it's not fun anymore. Like when you become so good at something, some people, they never have that mentality, you know. I don't know who, Theodore Roosevelt or something, one of the former presidents, say you should never stop learning,
Yeah.
you know, until the day you die. And that takes openness, willingness.
Yeah.
Creativity is a risk,
Yeah.
you know, that people will not, you know, and like what you create a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I was lucky when I started in my YouTube journey that somebody told me, whatever you do is creative. So I've been very free with my creativity. Every video I do is mostly different. I try to do it a little bit different. Like I try different things. People don't like it. You know, my quality is not great. That's one thing. But always, I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to see how to make it fun. People will not like it. It's okay. I know I'm enjoying making it. So as long as I'm enjoying making it, I can keep making it. I have thousands of ideas. It takes a while to execute, and it doesn't get executed properly just because I want to go move on to the next one and the next one, you know?
Ability.
So that's my impatience. I talked about it in my previous video
Yeah.
about like my first year on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like that. But it's allowed me to be playful, to have fun,
Oh.
just to question everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you question everything, then, you know, like Tyler, the creator, is always questioning things. He's like, he makes people question things, like the flex thing, you know, how he's, you know, I talked about it in a video I did on Tyler, the creator.
Yeah.
So That's somebody who still see as so lively, you know. And there are people out there, but a lot of them have compromised.
Really.
Once you compromise, you're playing to expectations
Aye.
a lot of the time. And people like Lil Bot, Lil Yachty, you know, he had fun style. He was having fun. And he's still having fun to some degree. But in the age of names, it's just names. Once you have a name, you can just do whatever and people will look for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's become that. People like to think like, oh, my thinking is authentic. Like what I'm saying is deep, whatever.
Never that.
No, thinking or words can never be deep,
Yeah.
can never be profound. Only what you experience is profound.
Real.
Some music can make you feel something,
Yeah.
and it only if it comes from authenticity.
Yeah.
That's the creativity of nature. Nature is authentic
Yeah.
in the way it is.
Yes.
In our nature, we are authentic,
Real.
but in our mind, we can never be authentic. In playing to expectations, we can never be authentic.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm doing this cultural exploration, just to question all the conditioning that we have.
Yeah.
What has defined us? What has made us close-minded?
What?
The more close-minded you are, the more serious you become.
Dance.
Like, I will only like these things. Like, it's not real hip-hop unless it's this, like that. Then there is not much possibility. Then you cannot really have much fun.
Yeah.
So, I love hip-hop,
Yeah.
but it's been dead. Names don't mean much anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a name. Whoever is who has a name. There's so much branding in the world right now that is ridiculous, oversaturated. Back in the times when the Drakes and the Kendricks came out, names still meant something, and that's why they still have a brand, because they came out at that time. Many other people have come, but people are so saturated. They have so many names in their minds that unless you hold their attention, unless you move them, they will not care too much. So hip hop is getting to that point, you know. The old generation is there, the older generation,
Yes.
and we'll always be nostalgic. Most of us will be nostalgic for a long time.
Holding on.
But over time, things will come.
Yeah.
And just like jazz music, jazz, like, it's still, for me, it moves
Yes.
if the authenticity is there.
Yeah.
But people don't dedicate themselves enough
Dedicated.
to it. Nowadays, you don't need to dedicate yourself
Yeah.
in anything, really. Like I'm saying, I can create videos like every day. So it doesn't need dedication. You know, anybody can make a song, anybody can make a viral video, everybody can do this and that. You can play that game. You can play it to people's expectations. A lot of information is out there. Like, what I was getting to was like rock music or blues or disco, soul music, R&B have died, mostly because the older generation tried to get keep, overdefined it, that only this can be that, you know. Then whoever came up became the old heads and the new school. So hip hop has been there for the last 10 years, I would say. Not very inspiring, not very moving. It has not been moving people. That's just it. It hurts me to say it, but we gotta question it. We gotta be honest with it. I've seen a lot of texts out there, people talking about Kendrick won, Drake won, but hip hop won. Why did they really win?
What?
You know, each and every person has been talking about it, but as a gimmick mostly,
Yeah.
because most things have become gimmicks.
For real.
There's very few things that actually move people, you know? That's just it.